You may have heard of May the 4th, as in May the Force be with you. It is a celebration for Star Wars fans everywhere. However, today, a new Star Wars celebration was born, this time celebrating Cara Dune, who was famously portrayed by Gina Carano. 'Cause I've been living life right like I could just die any minute, going for a ride down the Hi everyone, my name is Jacob Berry. Welcome to the StudioJake vidcast where I talk about all things pop culture. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. And if you're watching on YouTube, ring that little bell so you get notifications when I post a new vidcast, and consider becoming a channel member. If you know me, you know I'm a Star Wars fan, particularly of the original trilogy and the prequel trilogy, but also I like some of what Disney has done. I like Rogue One, I like Star Wars Vision Season 1, and I like The Mandalorian Season 1 and 2, and The Mandalorian's episode of Book of Boba Fett. But one of the things that I enjoy greatly is the character of Cara Dune, who was portrayed by Gina Carano. And of course, she was famously, or I should say infamously, fired by Disney in a clear case of viewpoint discrimination. She is engaged in an ongoing lawsuit with the House of Mouse over this, which is being backed by Elon Musk. She is being backed by Elon Musk, I should clarify. And today, her fans decided to turn January 30th into a day celebrating her time on Star Wars. GinaCarano.net, which is a fan website that follows her career as well as reports on what she's doing. They have come together and made today International Cara Dune Fan Celebration Day. Now, obviously, it's an unofficial holiday, like most holidays are, but I think it's really cool that fans can come together and celebrate an actress that is dear to us, an actress who was severely cheated out of her role, and I really enjoy it when fans create positivity like this, where we can celebrate someone who is really cool. Now, Gina Carano herself actually responded to this on X. Reading directly from the post, she said, "Best fans, friends, supporters in the world, hands down." And she puts a star. "Thank you all always." And then she has a heart emoji there. So even Gina Carano herself is showing appreciation for her fans, and I really think that's cool. You don't see that a lot these days, sadly. A lot of celebrities, they want to brush off their fans, give them a little head pat and say carry on. But Gina Carano actually gets involved with her fans. I saw an interview that she did, I believe with Sean Ryan, where she talked about how much she loves going to Comic Cons and sci-fi conventions and meeting fans who just adore her, and we do. We think that she is really great. I've not met her personally. I've interacted with her on X before, and she is incredibly sweet, kind, and generous. And I think it's just appalling how Disney treated her and how her co-stars. Now, a few did stand up for her, but several of them didn't. We didn't hear Pedro Pascal standing up and saying, "Hey, why did this happen?" Especially with all the posting he was doing. But people like Bill Burr, who starred, I believe, with her on one episode of The Mandalorian, he called her an absolute bleeping sweetheart. And I think that it's disappointing how Disney handled that situation, and hopefully it'll be rectified in the courts. Now, I don't normally do this because I'm not really a big toy collector, but I thought I'd show off some of the collectibles that I have. Whenever someone gives me an action figure or a collectible or a statue of some kind, I take it greatly to heart. In fact, a lot of these you see here on my shelf were given to me. Some of them I did get myself, I'll be honest. Like this Batman one here, I did get that one myself because I'm a big Batman fan. But a big chunk of these were given to me. This one I won at Disneyland. But anyway, I digress. For me to actually pursue a collection of some kind, if it's toy related, I don't usually do that. I'm a comic book collector. I will admit that. I have a bunch of comics, both rare and some that are mass produced, and a lot of indie stuff. And you got to see some of that on my New Year's post. But I thought, in the spirit of International Cara Dune Fan Celebration Day, I would show off my Cara Dune collection. So the Lego piece was actually the hardest one to find. People on eBay wanted a ridiculous amount of money for it. Same with Amazon. So one day at a convention, I happened to be looking at this guy. He was selling off his Legos and he had a Star Wars setup. And lo and behold, he had Cara Dune. I immediately bought it. I paid like $2 for it. So I was very, very excited about that. But yeah, this was the hardest one to find because, Legos, sometimes they get misplaced. And of course, with Legos, you can take them apart and people were, I'm sure, mixing up her character with others. But I was really excited when I did find it, and that was a lot of fun. The Fig Pen is the latest addition to my Cara Dune collection. I found it on eBay, mint in box. I had found it before on eBay, but it was never mint in box. But someone finally put it in, and it even has the original like security sticker on it. So that's how I knew that this was authentic. It's never been opened before, as far as I can tell, and I was very excited to find this one on eBay. Like I said, people were selling them, and even at Comic Cons, but they weren't ever mint in box. But I finally found one guy who was selling it mint in box, and I was able to nab it. My sister and brother-in-law actually found this one for me. So this is like for little kids. It's from Hasbro. It's the Star Wars Mission Fleet collection line, and it was one of the last to come out that still had her as part of the set. And they swiped it for me and gave it to me for my birthday. I was very excited. As you can see, I haven't opened it. I don't plan on opening this one, and I was really happy to get it. I couldn't find it anywhere where I live in California. They went like that, and they weren't really online yet. So to get this one, I was pretty happy about it. This one was part of the Star Wars Retro line, where they are the size of the original Star Wars action figures. For those of you who may be unaware, Star Wars action figures have always been smaller than, the normal sized action figures, like, say, this Batman one up here. They've always been kind of smaller. I don't know why George Lucas decided to do that, but his deal with Hasbro definitely made this happen. This one I actually bought on Amazon. Someone put up a mitten box version on Amazon.com, and I was able to swipe it before anyone else did. I was very happy to get this one as well. This one is from the Kenner collection, and this is more like a traditional style size action figure, and it also has concept art from the show The Mandalorian. And I actually found this one, I believe, at another Comic Con. It was a person selling toys, and like I said, again, very excited to find it. I managed to nab it. He wanted $30 for it, and I just went ahead and paid the $30. I was really happy to get this one. I actually have two of these. My mom got me one, and my brother-in-law got me the other one. The one on display is the one that my mom got, but this is a mini Funko Pop, and this one was actually the last toy that stayed in wide circulation. You could pick them up at like Five Below. That's where I have found them before. Now they're not on shelves anymore, or as far as I'm able to find, but these were the last ones that stayed in circulation after Disney cut ties with Gina Carano. I don't. That might have been a decision from the stores themselves, because anytime I went to Five Below, like I said, up until recently, they were always on the shelf. So they must have been selling really well. I never saw them, with a clearance sticker or anything. They were selling them at full price, and not just Five Below. I'm just using that as an example because that was the place where I saw it the most. But yeah, this one came with a collection and included, of course, the Mandalorian holding Grogu, the IG-11 robot, Grief, Curl, who was the I have spoken guy, and then they had two little Grogus, one where it's just Grogu kind of looking at you all cute like, and one of him holding the cup, which is from the episode where he met Cara Dune. This one by far was the most expensive. This is the Black Series, and as you can see, it's a traditional action figure size, and I was very happy to find it. I went to a toy collector convention, which, like I said, I don't normally do. I just wanted to get out of the house basically, and I went in with a budget. This one took all of my budget because this one is so rare. Now, this one stayed for sale on the Hasbro website for a while. I guess they were just trying to get rid of inventory, and I could have bought it then, but I dragged my feet, and then they ended the sales. Well, then of course they immediately go on Amazon and eBay for like triple what it was actually worth, and I just can't afford that. But like I said, I went to a toy convention. I had a budget in case I saw something collectible. I think I was actually looking for something Star Trek, but then I stumbled on this and I managed to haggle the guy down to my budget and got it. And this one is going to definitely stay mint in box. I'm very excited about this one. This Black Series is probably one of the few where even unpopular Star Wars characters still sell because they are so rare. And this one also was made by Hasbro. Last but certainly not least, and the fastest to go off the shelves when Gina Carano was forced out of her role as Cara Dune was her pops. Now, whenever the news broke that Disney had tried to cancel her, my wife told me, "Go to Target right now and buy those pops." I didn't listen to my wife. I was trying to be a good husband. I thought, "No, it's not in our budget right now." But I should have listened to her, and she's probably very happy to hear me say that. I had to wait a full, like, 2 years before I was able to find these pops again because they would just go. If they were put on eBay, they were gone. If they were put on Amazon, they were gone. It was like a mad gold rush to find these pops. One day, my wife and I are out and about. We stumble into a retro gaming store of all places here in Arizona. Lo and behold, here they are. And the guy was selling them for way more than what pops are worth, in my opinion. But I went ahead and bought both of them. Yeah, it was really funny because I really only saw this one, and this one is my favorite of her pops. He brought them both to me, and he said, "Which one do you want?" And I said, "I'll take both." And of course, he was happy to make the sale. I finally got them, but yeah, these were the hardest out of all of them to find, and I'm so glad I did. That is my Gina Carano action figure collection. What do you think? Do you have any of her action figures? If so, please let me know in the comments section below. Just one final note I want to say about this. This is what being a fan is all about, where we can celebrate one of our favorite actors or actresses and the role that they played within a fandom. This is positive fan activity, and Star Wars fans in particular get hammered a lot. Hey, I've criticized the Star Wars fandom before. Go to my website, StudioJakeMedia.com. I have done this, and it is very, very sad sometimes, though, just how especially the mainstream media wants to call us toxic, wants to call us bigots. When I criticize Star Wars fandom, it's mainly over the lack of love that the prequels get from boomers and Gen X. I, being Gen Y, a millennial, I love the prequels, and this millennial generation seems to have an appreciation for them. I've even heard from people who didn't like the prequels with Disney movies. Now they actually have a new appreciation for them. And I hope that continues for The Mandalorian, especially season 1 and season 2, because we lost a really great character who was supposed to have her own show, Rangers of the New Republic. She would have been fantastic in that show. It would have been incredible, but because of jealousy, because of identity politics, Gina Carano lost that role. Who knows? Maybe she'll get it back. I doubt that'll happen while she's suing Disney, and I hope that she gets everything she lost back in that lawsuit. I'm also covering it. Anytime there's a new update on her lawsuit, I immediately report on it on my website, StudioJakeMedia.com. So head on over there. But like I said, this is what being a fan is all about. It's about celebrating what we love in the fandom, and don't let anyone tell you otherwise or take that away from you. If you like that video, be sure to give it a like, share it out to all your friends, leave me a comment, tell me what you think, and subscribe. If you're watching on YouTube, ring that little bell so you get notifications when I post a new vidcast, and consider becoming a channel member. If you would be so kind, head on over to my website, StudioJakeMedia.com, where you can sign up through your email or the WordPress app, and best of all, it's free. You get articles on all kinds of pop culture topics, including Star Wars, Marvel, Sword Art Online, Dragon Ball Z, whatever your fancy is, I have something about it. And like I said, it's totally free and there are no ads. So head on over there and sign up. If you want to support the work that I do, head on over to my locals community. The link is in the description of the video. You can sign up for a monthly subscription or send my articles tips. And I do post exclusive articles there just for my locals community. And I also publish my short stories there. So you're definitely want to get in on that action. Speaking of stories, I've got books out. I bet you didn't know that. I rarely mention it, but it's true. I have Cacophony, a supernatural thriller about angels warring against demons in a small Texas town. If you're more into the sword and sorcery genre, I've got my book series, The Seven Royals. Book 1 is All Good Things. Book 2 is Breaking the Stars. It is about a group of your favorite fairy tale characters who have to come together to battle a dark army that is trying to take over their lands. Book 1 and Book 2 are out. Book 3 is on its way, and I'll have an announcement about it very soon. Last but certainly not least, I have Blessed Child. It is a fantasy romance novella about an elven princess who gets pregnant, but she discovers she's pregnant with a human. This sends the elven kingdom into chaos, and her father, the king, hires a disgraced knight to be her bodyguard. He is on the path to redemption, and the two form an unlikely friendship. It is about courage under fire, and it has life-affirming themes. So definitely head on over to Amazon.com, pick this one up or all four, and leave me a 5-star review. It really helps out small indie creators like myself. Once again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time right here on Studio Jake. Happy International Cara Dune Fan Celebration Day. I hope I said that right.
'Cause I've been living life right like I